Welcome to the name game. Workout number 158 is ringing it. 10 rounds for time with a 15-minute cap. 3 ring muscle-ups, 6 burpees to a ring touch. The rings need to be set to 10 inches above your highest reach. And 9 snatches to 75/55 pounds.
Be a CrossFitter, you got to watch other people working out a lot.
All right, hey Jay, hey Ben, it's Brendan here at Kendall Square CrossFit, Cambridge, Mass. Doing my first or big game workout. Pretty excited, pretty nervous too. I'm a little tired already, but gonna do my best. We'll see how this goes. And we know the workout. We don't know the name or the number. I'm getting some 16.3 vibes from this with some burpees thrown in there for added fun. Just gonna remind myself that I couldn't do bar muscle ups in 2016, so we're gonna do a bunch today, and we're gonna take that as a list, and I'm gonna do my best.
All right, and we're off. And we have Brendan joining us here, who is one of Day's athletes, so welcome.
Everybody.
Brendan.
Yeah. As first thing people notice is that you're doing bar muscles instead of ring muscle ups. What was the main reasoning behind that?
Yeah, so I don't have the density, to use your word, Ben, in the ring muscle up yet. So when I looked at it, easy math, it's 10 rounds. So this is going to be a muscle up workout, whether it's ring muscle ups or bar muscle ups. So it's 30 to complete the whole thing. Frankly, even in the bar muscle up, I knew that this was going to be a stretch for me. I would actually say even more than a stretch. I'd say going into it, I was like, I don't know if you gave me 15 minutes to do 30. I'm not sure that going before doing this, this actually ended up being, I think, a bit of a confidence booster in this moment for me. But going into it, I would have said, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for me without anything else thrown into it. So that was why I opted for bar. Yeah,
good thing is that 10 rounds, you get nice easy math. So you got 30 ring muscle ups or bar muscle ups in this case, 60 burpees to a 10-inch touch. So if you're using the rings, set them to 10 inches above your highest reach, and then 9 snatches at Randy weight. So, yeah, you had said in the intro, it kind of reminded you of like that, what was it, 16-3?
I think it was 16-3, which was 7 minutes, a 7-minute AMRAP of 3 bar muscle ups and 10 snatches at Randy weight. So actually very similar to this, just with some burpees thrown in the middle. And then in terms of pacing, like I tested this a couple of times. I actually have my own video snafu. I think I did this. This was done the video we're watching now was done on a Saturday during my kids' nap time. But I had tried it on the Thursday before and got 2 rounds in, and my didn't have a tripod, and the phone fell over in the middle of the workout,
classic.
and I was kind of out of time, so I used that as like kind of my warm up or my dry run, if you will. So when I tested it, the first round fresh took me about a minute. I think it was like 105 to 110. And so I knew with some fatigue and everything building up, this was going to be tough for me to make it inside the time cap. And I probably defaulted a little bit too much to looking at it like, all right, this is going to be probably not finishing the workout. This is going to be a 15-minute AMRAP for me. And I actually came kind of close at the end, which we'll get to. And looking back at it, if I had another shot at it, I think I'd have a different way of approaching it. But I knew that just getting through the 30 bar muscle ups was going to be a tall order.
Mm-hmm. Dave, where'd you kind of expect him to land on this? She's very stoic. Let's go to Chris. Chris, how would you think about pacing this if this was you doing the workout?
So if this was me, this is one of those where if you're efficient at these 3 movements, it becomes really almost aerobic based, where it's like, okay, move as smoothly from one movement to the next, try to breathe through the movements, keep the rounds short. And then obviously if you're moving fast enough, fatigue just going to accumulate towards the end. But I think the pacing here on the burpees looks pretty good. Like I would probably do something similar, step up out of the burpee to jump to the bar, and then look to get right on the barbell and get moving. and then I would go unbroken on all the sets of the bar muscle ups. But for you, Brendan, what would you say was your biggest limiter? Like as the workout started to get hard, what would you say your biggest limiter was?
So my biggest limiter, going into it, I knew it was going to be the bar muscle ups. I think that's pretty obvious because the other two movements are low skill, and there's and the volume is pretty light as well. Like 6 burpees is not gonna cost you too much. Neither is 9 snatches at this weight. But I think what surprised me more was it was all lungs and heart rate for me. Like I looked at I'm wearing a Garmin watch with a heart rate monitor on it, and I looked down after the first round, which was like about a minute 10 seconds into this, and I was at 189. And I sent I sent Ben and Day the heart rate chart, but it never really came down. I think I got down to like my recovery was in like the 170s. I was like, but I was out like 180 to 190 the whole 15 minutes, even though I'm not even going at too fast of a pace. You can tell like I'm starting to take pretty big breaks between. So that cost me a lot more than I thought. Like just the heart rate for me, it took everything I had to do those 380 bar muscles. Maybe I should have broken them up into like singles, but for me, the cost of like that first rep is pretty high, and so it's easier for me to cycle them once I'm up there. But maybe that would have been a different way to break it up. I definitely, going into the burpees, I thought about before the workout. So yeah, I'm doing the step up. I even was like, maybe I'll default to even stepping back to control my heart rate, but that was something that like I thought about before the workout, but then I just kind of forgot going into it as like a tool in the toolkit. And when I step back, it doesn't really. I feel like it doesn't help me that much. It doesn't. If anything, it actually is a little bit more labored. So, I was actually thinking about you, Chris, as I was doing this, because I was like, he's going to be watching my form, and I'm going to get that burpee progression as a follow up to this.
I love how Chris is already the burpee form guy.
Burpee guy.
Oh, that's great.
Literally, like in like the 7th or 8th, like my last round, I'm like trying to make them snappier. I'm like, Chris is going to give me that damn burpee progression.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I do not like stepping back burpees. To me, it feels like I get like caught, and then I just have like more time under tension if I do that. So I'm a big fan of just kind of like essentially falling to the floor and then getting back up.
You've never been so tired to have to do the crawl burpee, that have you?
I don't do that. No, I really don't. Like even when I'm tired, I'll kind of like push up real slow, and it's like I call it like the slinky, where like my shoulders go up first, and then I have like this big fold in half that happens. Yeah, but I still don't like. Maybe if I did like
a knee. Yeah, that quarterfinals workout, bro. I was literally like hands to the ground, one knee to the ground, the next knee to the ground, slowly lay down.
Yeah, you're in a bad place if you do that.
Oh my! That's what I was doing because I was so shot.
That was my 24.1.
What was 24.1 again?
It was the dumbbell snatches and burpees over the dumbbell. The 21, 15, 9, both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like that was a lot of burpees relative to the snatches. Like 90 and 90 didn't feel equivalent.
No, and you're hinging the whole time. So, if you don't have the endurance in that motion, it's just like, that's what got me on I told you this, that's what got me on that quarterfinals workout was like, obviously I was breathing like,
your
crazy,
back blew up,
but my back just blew up. I'm just used to doing 150 burpee box jump overs.
Yep. And honestly, there's a lot of hinging in this one. Like, obviously, everyone looks at the muscle up originally, and that's obviously very important. It's going to be like the biggest separator, frankly, and for most people in this workout, especially like going from like quarterfinals bubble to like semifinals bubble. Like that type of athlete is going to be a very dramatic difference there, typically in muscle up ability, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that can really interfere with your ability to do the muscle ups well, and keep them smooth.
Brendan, did you go unbroken the whole workout? On the muscle ups?
Yeah.
Actually, I did. Yeah, I guess I did on all 3 movements. Yeah, I didn't break. I didn't even think about, obviously, the burpees you wouldn't break up, but I didn't even think about breaking up the snatches either, which is another thing maybe I should have. Like, I could have maybe done like 5-4 or 6-3 or something just to try to control the heart rate, but I was just taking such big breaks between the muscle ups that I just did 3s the whole way.
Yeah.
Something else that slowed me down, you can see what I'm doing here. So my grip in these workouts is so I feel like maybe this is this is a weakness, but if I don't have a grip on the bar on the, like these hanging movements, it's just I'm just dead in the water. So I'm on the taller side. I'm not crazy tall. I'm 6 feet. I guess I'm CrossFit tall. And there's only a couple bars in our gym that work for me. It's the one that I'm using here, and the one to the left of it. And actually, you can see I actually put a couple of those blue mats there, almost like a riser, just to get, because this bar, I like the height of it, but it's almost too high. And sometimes, like when I jump into it, it doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I use the frog grips, which are really sticky on the powder coated bars. So that was great. But they were interfering with me it was actually the burpee that was really bothering me. And I should have just gotten over it, but like they were in the way. And so on the first couple rounds, I wore them, but, this sounds silly, but I was actually afraid they were going to get dirty in the workout. And then I was going to mess with my grip because they need to be like they need to be really clean to stick to the bar. So I after I think the third or fourth round, I started taking them off after the muscle ups, which was stupid because it just cost a lot of time. I should have just, I think I should have recognized that the muscle ups were going to take the most out of me, and I probably needed to break before and after those, and just rather than take them off, just kind of loosen the straps and flip them around.
Yeah,
I think that would have been fine. And if I did this one again, what I would do is think about the burpees and the when I did it the first time around, it was like merry-go-round with 3 stations. If I did it again, I would just think about the burpees and the snatches as like a single station. I just think mentally that would have been more effective because I was taking a long break before and after the muscle ups, but then also kind of going between the burpees and the snatches. And I think if I could have cut out some of that rest too, I would have been closer to finishing it.
Yeah. I feel like if I was doing this, it'll, like, the light power snatches tends to get my grip, and then, like, obviously you're doing a hanging movement, but then, like, I'm not sure if it would be more grip, more upper back, or tricep, because obviously, like, burpee power snatch are pretty press dominated, especially if it's like a light muscle snatch, and then there's some press in the muscle up, in the bar muscle up, but there's more in the ring. So I think for people who are doing ring muscle up, the press could be a limiting factor if you're someone who's not particularly great in that area. What do you think would slow you down, Chris? Just the breathing, or would it be muscular?
I definitely could see it. My grip. There are some people that are so good at cycling a barbell, and I've worked with people in the past, like almost like releasing that grip at the top of the barbell and actually getting like having that mean something. Like I feel like I learned how to do it, and I started to do it, and I'm like I don't feel a difference. Like I'm just still so tired.
Your grip.
Yeah, with the grip. Yeah. In general, I feel like barbell cycling, regardless of the weight, takes more out of me than maybe relative to some other people. But given that it's only 3, 6, and 9, and the weight is so light, I do think it would just be mostly like general systemic fatigue.
Yeah. This is probably one of those where like you're gonna get done, you're like, oh, that hurt really bad, just like generally, like your whole body, and then after like 5 minutes, you're like, ooh, like my forearms are tired. Ooh, my upper back's tired. Yeah. Like you don't realize it because the rest of the workout hurts so bad, and then it wears off. That's how 24.1 was from like my low back. I was like, wow, that was like really hard. And then it was like, my arches hurt really bad. Oh, my lower back hurts really bad. Where are we at here? I can't see.
So I think this is round 8. We're 12:40 on the clock, or at least on my video. And I think this is round 8 I'm going into here.
Oh, so you were really close to finishing.
Yeah, I finished the muscle ups in the 9th round. And so like afterwards, I was super happy initially because I was like, wow, I think when I looked at it, I was like, this is going to be probably 7 or 8 rounds for me. I just didn't know. I just wasn't sure. And then I pleased myself with, I was like, wow, maybe my density on the bar muscle ups is better than I thought. And, but you know, CrossFitters being CrossFitters, you go quickly from like one thought to the next thought is, damn it, I was so close that I should have just finished.
Yeah. Well, like you talked about, it's like, that's why I think doing things like this, where it's like mock competition with you videoing yourself, one of the things you noticed was like, I lost a lot of time taking my grips on and off. I rested a lot here and could have condensed things there. And it's like, without doing that, a lot of people don't, especially people who are new in the sport, don't realize how much time runs away in a workout because you're fidgeting with things, chalking, resting, when it's like, did you really have to, not you, but like, did you really have to walk around the implement?
Me too.
No. But it's like, you see people that it's like, they don't take a direct line to the barbell. It's like they're meandering. It's like, did you really have to take 10 seconds to find the barbell? Like, no, you could have taken one, step to the barbell, rested 3 seconds just like you did and picked it up. And you do that over and over, and all of a sudden that's 2 minutes out of your workout or whatever the case may be. But that's why stuff like this could be super helpful. Good.
I was pretty good actually on that between the burpees and the snatches, although I did break there. But you're 100% right, Chris. If you notice, like a couple times, rather than, so you can see, if I just stand on, walk up onto that mat, I'm right there in front of the bar.
Right.
But instead, nope, I decided to walk around the side, just a couple extra steps. Yeah. There's other little things you notice too. Like I noticed that my lockout is like a little. I definitely felt like I was locking out the whole way, but I noticed on my first and second reps each set, I think because I'm thinking about that next rep and being in a good position, I don't know if it's either a really quick lockout, but those little details. Because I noticed on my third rep, each set looks really clean, but on the first and second one, when I'm thinking about going to that next rep, it's a little bit, it's not super clear on the video. So, and that looks like that was it.
That was it. You crushed it.
Yeah, nicely done, dude. Thanks for watching today. Be sure to share this workout and take it on with some friends. If you want to learn more about how to optimize your performance for the sport of CrossFit, or if you're interested in hiring one of our coaches, head over to zorfitness.com. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. Best of luck on the workout, and as always, stay the course.